Hey there, this is Alex Medwood, and today I'm going to be demoing my 2018 summer AI project. It's called DeepLattice, and it smashed the human record for the puzzle game Diamond Lattice from a human record of level 10 to an AI record of level 28. Here in the background, you can see it in action as it sets this world record. This project is an especially big deal, because it's my first time making a purpose-built AI. By purpose-built, I mean that the AI techniques I use in this project are ones that I developed completely from scratch, specifically for solving this one problem. So, some backstory. I co-authored Diamond Lattice for the Ludum Dare 72-hour game programming competition. The game turned out great, and throughout the following year, I had dozens and dozens of people try the game out, both online and in person. Diamond Lattice works like this. You're trying to mine the 5 diamonds, but you're running out of power. You build paths by swapping around the tiles until they connect your core to a diamond or generator. Swapping tiles costs energy, and when you're out of energy, you lose the game. Generators restore your energy, so you can survive long enough that you can beat the level. I always liked coming up with strategies to reach higher and higher levels in this game. I'm not sure when I first thought of making an AI for it, but it was a distant fantasy at the time. The problem seemed like a very abstract and human question about looking for paths that visually looked good and could connect to your targets for a cheap cost. At the same time though, it was a very intriguing idea to me, because there were absolutely no pre-existing articles or tutorials for how to make this kind of AI. None of the AI approaches I was taught in college really applied to this game at all. If I were to make an AI for this game, it would be entirely on my own shoulders and be entirely my own feat of reasoning. I'd have to come up with the entire approach myself from the ground up. And so between 2017 and 2018 I did just that. Not in a big concerted effort since I had no idea if I would ever come up with anything. But throughout the last year, I would periodically introspect about what enabled me as a human player to efficiently come up with and implement smart strategies, and how that could be written up into a program. However, even a couple weeks into the summer, and I still didn't have an idea that I was confident at starting development on. Then, I got some inspiration. I thought about DeepMind's AlphaGo AI, and how it used one rule of thumb to highlight potential good strategies, and then another to see which of those strategies were really good. I saw a parallel between the human player's visual intuitions, and the rules of thumb that AlphaGo used to decide which moves were worth looking into. Thinking about it in this way seemed a lot better to me, and I instantly started framing everything in terms of this paradigm. And that's what got me to come up with my first real approach. I'd have a heuristic highlight good-looking partial connections, and then use a simple algorithm to link those partial connections together. Then I'd have it try various good-looking strategies at random, and see how much each of those cost, and then go ahead and use the best out of all those strategies. And that's what I started coding. The approach is called stochastic heuristic search. This project would not have taken off without the inspiration from how DeepMind created AlphaGo. Now, as I wrote it, I ended up thinking more and more about the approach, and ultimately ended up simplifying things to look a little bit less like AlphaGo. Basically, I turned away from doing a constant and intensive stochastic tree search of all of the strategies. Instead, I balled up that path search into a single algorithm that you just run once and get a result like you would with BFS or Dijkstra's algorithm, rather than continuously searching for better and better options. This approach was better because it was simpler, more efficient, and more deterministic. This is the approach that you see playing the game on screen in front of you. So, why did I spend this much time and energy cracking this one obscure game? Ultimately, it's because I love a challenge, and this was just the perfect level and style of challenge for me. It wasn't impossible, but at the beginning I thought it very well might be, and I had no idea where to even begin with solving it. It was on the very edge of what I could do on my own, but only if I pushed myself philosophically in introspecting about what patterns of reasoning made it possible for me to play the game efficiently, and then also push myself to deal with the many roadblocks and obstacles that popped up along the way as I put that idea into practice. So that sums up my project. First, I've got to give some big thanks to DeepMind. Their work on AlphaGo was inspirational both in its ambition and in the reasoning approaches that they used to solve the problem. This project would never have started without that inspiration. So thanks to the researchers and engineers who made AlphaGo, and to all the journalists and content creators who made all of that information so accessible to me. Then I'd like to thank Julio, who co-authored Diamond Lattice with me. This game wouldn't have come out nearly this interesting if we hadn't worked together on it. Both the concept and the implementation are the result of collaborative brainstorming and refinement that neither of us could have done alone. So that's all. Thanks for sticking through to the end. And DeepMind, OpenAI, and others, if you're watching and have some cool resources or positions or something for me, please go ahead and let me know.